More or Nothing.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of More or Nothing with Ryan and Max, who have been getting themselves nice and cozy together up in Scotland again. How was it, fellas?
Oh, mate, I was dusty yesterday.
Oh, my hanging. Good fun, though. Great day out. It was so wholesome as well. Sunday morning, Ryan, can I just say that was just lovely. I can't believe you keep everything together like that. That is a madhouse. But, yeah, it's a beautiful family. I have to admit, that was very wholesome. It was quite lovely.
And I appreciate just play FIFA the whole time?
I was playing FIFA. Mate, I got to meet all of them. They were all so great. All great. I was doing puzzles. I was arguing with Frank.
Mate, and Max, when we got in the car to drop him at the airport afterwards, he was like, don't know how you do it. Don't know how you do it.
Like, right. Where do you get your time to yourself or your own thoughts? And he was like, doesn't happen.
Just doesn't happen. Honestly, you could see he was like, I loved it, but that was a lot. It was like, that is full on. That is full on. So, no, it was wonderful. I enjoyed having him in the hometown of Glasgow. We saw all the sights.
Yeah, Kong's was a lovely establishment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Meet the great Dempsey, Jordan. Yeah, some good men, some very good Glaswegian men.
I saw Josh Mackay today. I was, mate, so happy I met Nexy boy. Oh, what a legend.
Like me and Josh from Mackay were just hitting each other with New Zealand cliches. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, good. Yeah, nah. Yeah, good. Just back and forth. We'd just see who would break in the chicken of yeah, nahs. It was outstanding.
So we're for those that are watching and listening, we went to the PFL Europe, the Professional Fighting League. Oh my violence. Mark, no. I reckon Mark might have cried if he'd been there.
Squeamish. Probably. Squeamish, aren't you, Mark? Yeah, there was some absolute bloodletting. I was surprised by when we got into the octagon, right, how much claret there was on the canvas.
And it was spongy. You know, like when they hit the deck, you're like, oh, it looks pretty tough, but it's a bit spongy.
It's like a nice memory foam mattress.
It pretty much was, wasn't it? But you're right, claret everywhere. People trying to get their photos done, you know, like the old clenching fist, like trying to get their shots in. And there's me and Max rolling around. I've got him in a chokehold, trying to strangle each other.
Ryan just takes my back and we just slam onto the canvas. Everyone looks around, they're like, really? We're doing this here? Grown ass men. But yeah, it was class. Got to meet Dan Hardy, little chinwag with Stevie Ray, and then we obviously got to meet Lewis McGrillen, the McGrizzler, who will make headlines soon, I have no doubt, as a viral statesman for the sport.
Ginger Mullet.
He's a werewolf, a savage knockout artist. That fight between him and Dean Abner of Liverpool was sensational. Fireworks.
There was 14 knockdowns. 14 knockdowns, Mark. So 14 times someone hit the deck and they just kept on going.
My brain injuries.
They were staying up and they were just battering each other. It was unbelievable entertainment.
So there will be more coming out. Keep your eyes peeled on the YouTube channel because we've done a little vlog of it. We go behind the scenes, chat to some of the fighters, do a little bit here and there. We try and get people to teach Max some Glaswegian slang, but we couldn't, one, understand these blokes. Like, I've been here for 15 years and it was hard work trying to understand them. And two, a lot of what they say cannot be aired anywhere on Earth. So
abbreviated curse words. It wasn't really here. But anyway, it was entertaining.
It was
how did they appreciate Max's very clean-cut language and persona?
I think they were quite confused. Listen, we turned up. We hadn't even chatted either, have we, Max? Turned up wearing exactly the same clobber. We had black dealer boots on, black jeans, black jackets.
I was wearing my Wolf Craig. How Gile looked absolutely outstanding.
We were outside the club waiting to going to get in. We had to do a few bits, chatting to the right people. But Max is there just waiting to get in, and people going, "Excuse me, big man, how long's the queue? How long's the wait to get in?" And Max is like, "Excuse me." They thought he was the bouncer.
I was like, I am not I'm not security for this establishment. I'm trying to get in myself.
Oh, so good. So yeah, we were up to the early hours. We couldn't get a McDonald's, and
you were very, very potty mouth. That was bad from you.
No, it wasn't potty mouth. The bloke was complete
not potty mouth, but you know what I mean. It was
a complete job's worth. Anyway, wonderful.
Wait, who were you reeling around with in the sort of late post show? Because you did all the. Was there some sort of VIP drinking or any of the nice things?
No, well, we went to the after party bit, but we just went straight to the rooftop because that's where it all kicks off. And we, to be fair, we were very good. Like come 10:30 when we got to Kong, we weren't that bad, I don't think. So
we carried ourselves with real dignity, I'd say.
So then we made up for it till 3:30 in the morning. We were like, right, we better just make up for all the time lost today. But no, it was a few of the rugby boys kicking about in there, and that was about it. But yeah, it was a lovely morning. The kids were very excited to meet Uncle Max. It was,
mate, that's great. That was the highlight of my weekend. You know, in hindsight, I was like, man, that is actually really sacred and special what Ryan has. I was thinking on the plane back, I was like,
just half the number, you'd be all right.
Ray of sunshine. Jackson was a legend. Oh, it was so nice. But anyway, yeah.
Fabulous stuff, fellas. I'm glad.
Sorry, Mark. I know you're going on to the next bit, but do you know what is actually quite funny? Is like Bex is often like, you speak to Mark and Max more than you speak to me. So she was like, and I've never actually met Max in the flesh. So she was also like buzzing when he came. Like literally, you can imagine him with Frank as well. Frank is 3 years old. Like he likes to drag his stories out and just come down like Max and Frank just having a chat, just on the sofa, just talking. And he's like trying to give him like words of wisdom in the world with a hangover. What's going on?
The way that bloke tells stories cracks me up. He just forgets his chain of thought, the mid-sentence, and goes off on something else. But yeah,
and then we say, Frank, spit it out, mate. And he just goes and spits on the floor. No, not like that. Jesus, please, no.
Your words, man. But anyway.
It all started, though, Friday night. I did feel sorry for you, Max, having to come up after a tough old shift.
Indeed. Are we going into that first, or what's the agenda, boys? Where we
go?
I
think that.
No, we're not going there. Sorry.
Well, we don't. We can. No, let's do it in our little segments. Let's do the biggest. Unfortunately, as much as we are going to talk a lot about your game at Ashton Gate, sadly, but before that, the big match, of course, of the weekend was the Springboks lifting the Rugby Championship for the first time since 2019. And I think just their second in the last, for a long time, I think 15 odd years. So a heck of a moment for them, particularly off the back of that defeat against Argentina over in Argentina the previous week. But it was normal service resuming, would we say?
Yeah. We're here now, aren't we? This is it. Is this Ryan the greatest Springbok team of all time?
I think so. I heard that today, and I don't know why I didn't know that, but the Rugby Championship, and it's like only their fifth win. Like All Blacks have got 20 or something. You just forget about that, don't you? They're pretty special. I mean, they set the tone straight off the bat. Is that the greatest Springbok scrum of all time? Is because minute one 100%. they had the RGs on ice skates, didn't they? Just in reverse.
Like player of the year is going to be tricky, isn't it? Because it must be a shortlist just of Springboks, surely. Who else can you think of? Like as individual, like sort of contributors to their.
You're not looking too far from maybe an All Black here, a Dupont,
and then Dupont for what he's done for
Dupont's in there. Okay,
and then the rest will be Springboks.
Now the question is who will it be? Is it going to be the big PTSD? Do we think?
I would like Ox is maybe almost there now. Like he's pretty much unplayable, like as an all court threat. And his power in the scrum, Oxenche is making his presence known. Does he get it though? Potentially not, just because of was he there the whole year? But now he is a preeminent power in rugby. I'd say Peter Steph du Toit is the daddy. He's a cybernetic organism wrapped in living, like he's a freak. And obviously the great man made his record appearance as the most capped Springbok of all time. From a stock of absolute GOAT locks, Etzebeth, potentially the greatest Springbok of all time. That's an incredible.
How old is he? How old is Etzebeth?
Mate.
I think he might be a year younger than me. Is he 34? He'll make another World Cup, won't he? He'll go to the next World
32.
Cup.
He's 33 in a couple of weeks.
Fuck,
in 3 weeks' time.
It's scary, isn't it, to think what he's going to do? You're right. He'll go down as one of the greatest. Well, the fact that he's already broken that record, most capped Springbok of all time, but
he's got it all, hasn't he?
And in a position as well where it's not like there's no one to sort of slip in and do a job.
Yeah,
like Diego and Snyman like kicking about.
Exactly. Mad depth. But he's got all. He's like the freakiest. He's a freaky athlete. There's no doubt about that.
Freaky athlete, and as we always say, huge baby's arm down below.
Exactly. But also a canny egg whisperer. On top of that, he has like absolute malice.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to put it in a situation where you probably draw a lot of ire towards you. Where does he rank on the list of the greatest locks? If we're talking Springboks, Matfield, Bakkies Botha, then we've got obviously Sam Whitelock, Martin Johnson, Alun Wyn Jones, and perhaps Paul O'Connell as well. So where does Eben?
Eben objectively is the best in my opinion.
That's because Max loves the fact that he shifts tin. He's obsessed with the gym.
Not just
he's a tin shifter.
He's also like an 80-minute lock who can move, he can shift. He's great in a line out. He's like also has that sort of enforcer tag on him. He does everything, mate.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Only is it? He's literally the consummate lock. He's like the dream lock. I would have liked to play him equally. I'd like to do it the other way around. Put some of those locks in today's game, see how they go, but also put him back 10 years where you like Bakkies Botha just chinning blokes for fun and like punching people through scrums. There we go. I think he'd do all right. I think he would. I think he'd hold himself. I think he'd thrive in that. I think he almost has to temper himself these days.
Mark, you mentioned Peter Steph Toy, and you said you went in with the nickname PTSD.
I got it wrong.
But he does. He gives people PTSD. It's interesting to see. I wonder whether
PSDT, isn't it? I should have said PSDT, but
they could chuck a T in there. If he could, he should add another name into his name because he is giving people that. He was incredible on the weekend. He was another level, another step up. He's someone else, but friend of the show, Apalele Fassi, boys.
Yeah, he's
Apalele. We talked him up, didn't we, last year? And we said he's going to be big for the Boks. He's done it at club level now. He looks pretty sharp. He needed his chance. He was doing all sorts of bits. Who else out there? Manny Libok. But then, give it to Rassi. As you were talking about player of the year, mate, coach of the year. It's just the innovation from the man. He is literally making people want to watch rugby. Look at it. Up there in Nelspruit, by the way. I've played up there. And there ain't much up there. I can tell you that for sure. But they've sold out that stadium. It's gone fucking wild over there. And a lot of it's down to the way that Rassi is running things over there. It's just, mate, he's got it. He's got it all going for him. It's pretty special.
Do we think that he's, obviously amazing and everything that he's done is incredible. He's not getting enough credit for also kind of changing the way the Springboks play. Historically, it's always been just absolutely bash the hell with the forwards. But now you can't say they don't play some good rugby. You can't say that they are creating some fabulous tries and doing things that historically they weren't always, doing.
Oh, 100%. But again, look at we talked about it last week and how everyone went in on Manny Libok. He gives him the opportunity again, starts him, doesn't care, right? He's starting the game, just take the kicking duties off him, lift a bit of weight off his shoulders. But absolutely backed it up, went out there and tore him a new one. Then you've got Cheslin Colby on the wing who, oh my step.
Oh, goodness me. He's always a problem, let's be honest. He's been perpetually just brilliant for years now. He's just what a freak show athlete. That much power in such a small body. It's unbelievable. Like that time he bumped off Barrett, the lock forward, like a real grizzly Kiwi man, just put on his bum. It's mental.
He seems chippy though. Have you guys come across him? Because he gives it on the field. He
That's
seems really chippy. I love it.
You need a bit of that, don't you?
You do need a bit of that, but yeah, he is. It was. Do you not remember my when we were over in Dublin? It was who the fucking hell was it? Toulon. Was it Toulon? Yeah, Glasgow Toulon in the final of the EPRC.
Oh yeah.
And remember, I said he was doing the old jogged it all the way back with the ball, like just kick it out, mate. And he was jogging back with the ball. Like,
yeah, I remember. Yes,
you remember? And I was so pissed off.
You were fuming with the
Well, we'll get onto it and we'll talk about more of that because it was happening in Max's game at the weekend. But yeah, you do need a bit of that. I think keep it in rugby. It's good. You got boys going at each other. But the Springboks for me, like they're just on another level at the moment. Look what they've done with the Rugby Championship. And let's not forget to mention Argentina though, because they've gone the whole championship. There was things out there going, they've gone such good discipline. They haven't given away. They haven't had one yellow card throughout the whole championship, and then they go and get 2 yellows and a red. Matera nearly takes someone's head off. Who was it? Peter Steph Toits, was it? Where he comes in at the side and shoulder charges.
It
was. I think it was Vincent Cock.
Yeah.
But they capitulated a little bit, but they are. Contaponi has got them on the right.
Bubbling nicely, aren't they? Yeah, they've made huge strides, huge growth this year. They look like a significant threat now.
They did all 3 teams. They did Australia. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. They're not scalped. It's not a scalp where it's like, they've scalped Australia. They've beaten all 3 teams. It's that simple. You know, they've turned up and they need to get a lot of credit. And it's almost sad that you'll only think of their final game, and which they didn't. They weren't at the race. I mean, South Africa were incredibly strong, but Argentina didn't found it very difficult, didn't they?
You know what? I should have tapped in one of the boys, Lucio Sordoni, who was at Glasgow. He's now at Racing. He's out there because I saw him on a safari thing. I thought it might be quite funny because obviously the Pumas mauling the Springboks and they were out of this safari thing. I was going to try and edit a picture and get him in trouble. But I wonder what the night out was like, because have you ever been to Nelspruit, Max?
No, sounds like the Invercargill of South Africa.
I don't want to do anyone, I don't want to get anyone upset on here because I know the old staffers like to load into the comment section. So sorry if you are from Nelspruit, but it's where you do a bit of safari. There's not much up there except biltong, boerewors and some braais. But a night out there, I wonder how weird that would get. I'll go and do some digging. And ask a few of the RG boys if they had a good one.
Yeah, can you try and find out about that flight? I do want to know what the flight was like, Joe. Just what was the vibe? Who was getting? Where were the hierarchies on both sides? I think that would have been quite interesting. So huge congratulations to South Africa. Congratulations to our body. Apalele Fassi. Actually, when we were editing it to do it for the BBC over the weekend, and one of the editors was like, "Who was watching the game? Like, does anyone know which is the best try?" And I was like, Apalele in there. So he got a good bit of airtime on BBC News. Let's talk about the other match. New Zealand completing the Bledisloe Cup double. Sam Cane's 100th match. Well done to him, and a pretty fairly convincing 33-13 win.
Yeah, they just controlled it, didn't they? I mean, we weren't expecting much from the Aussies. They're, I don't know, it's worrying me what's going to happen with the Lions tour. We spoke about it last week, but All Blacks just in full control in that game. Sam Cane, 100 caps though. It's a miserable place to play 7. I mean, just you've got to put your head in funny places for 80 minutes every week, and he does it week in, week out. So fair play to him. But All Blacks, they've not been brilliant though, have they, boys? They've not been great.
Yeah, they've been good enough to finish second though. So
yeah, that's the thing. But that's because of the standards we hold them to, right? So they finished second, but actually, it's more the surprise that they didn't manage to beat the Springboks at all.
Yeah, the Botha in control, fully in control now of rugby dominance. Even if Max does look at the top 10 standings and say it's not.
No, I'd say they are, but still, there's the odd performance off them that you can get them. Argentina got it done. Ireland. So it's there. It's still a competitive at the top, which is
well, I think actually surprisingly, people are surprised at how competitive the Rugby Championship was. That's probably what's come out of this. People are going, everyone's beating everyone. Everyone's had a good day. Everyone's had a completely shite day. But yeah, the Aussies have been pretty poor, haven't they? Old Schmitty needs to pull his finger out.
I'm pretty sure, like Australia were very competitive up to half time. So I thought bringing Harry Wilson back in at 8 with Valentini 6, Fraser McWright's made some huge bounds at 7. This competition, so there's growth. Yeah, like there's a lot of young players there. Smith is a canny fox when it comes to coaching, so I'm sure he can get the best out of them. So it'll be interesting to see where this Wallaby team heads.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't mean to keep going back to the South Africa stuff, by the way, but you see Jerry Flannery drinking out the trophy. What does he do there?
He's a coach, isn't he? There. I think
he's what do you know what he's doing for the Boks A, Max?
He's done he's like an
defense coach
and defense coach. So he's done a bit of both. So I don't know what he's doing for the Springboks.
His defense. He's
interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they ever. He's in there. That must piss some Irish people off, eh? Having old Jerry Flannery over there. But I saw a clip of him drinking out the trophy, and I was like, I don't even think I knew he was there. I don't even think I knew he was the defence coach.
Well, he's having a ruddy good time. Worth shouting out, though, fellas, to, speaking of Ireland, the women's team. I don't know if you saw, they produced a huge upset in beating the world champions New Zealand over, I think, in Montreal, 29-27. And
it's in Canada.
Yeah, Donna O'Brien with like a last. You see, they scored at the death, and then she had the kick and not an easy kick actually, and in off the post, off the upright rather, to win the match. So that's huge. Congrats to.
Do you know where? By the way, I was chatting to someone about it today. So there's the women's first. The top tier is in Canada. The second tier is in South Africa.
Yeah.
The third tier is in Dubai. Mental. Yeah, in Dubai at the moment. I need to get myself on some of those. Get a little trip over to bloody Dubai, boys. Incredible scenes.
Right. Let's go to Friday Night Lights at Ashton Gate. And over the years, we've always had, and it tends to be on the side of Bristol. And sadly, Maxi, I mean, it was for the neutral, great game. But for us, I mean, that was a tough one, mate.
You boys are good at entertaining, that's for sure. Even if it is a loss, you can entertain. You keep people on the edge of their seats. You keep them coming back, Max.
It's an 80-minute performance. That's what we needed, didn't we? I think the first half we sort of made it slightly difficult for ourselves, going down to 13 men. We ran out of time on the comeback, sadly. But yeah, the Cherry and Whites came through. Plucky Cherry and Whites. Formidable display. The ruck speed was fast. They seized their opportunities. Wade liked his tries like he liked his eggs poached. And
literally poached, because you look at it, you see, and we'll get onto social media in a minute, but you look at it and go, oh, Wade, hat-trick, he must have absolutely torn it. And there's like an intercept, which is good, but the refs taking half the team out.
They all count, yeah.
The ref's taking half the team out. The other ones are walking, and then the third one.
Max, talk us through the third one, please.
What
was it to you?
It was a car crash. That's what it was. Everyone was just falling over left, right, and rhubarb, in Max's words.
Like the ball, the bounce of it was like something. It was like the final destination of tries. I've never seen that.
Yes.
Yeah. Like in any other game, that ball goes out or gets regathered or knocked into touch, but somehow it bounced just perfectly into a man who needs no introduction to scoring tries, into Christian Wade's mitts. Greedy bastard. But here we are. Wade's a hat-trick later, and Gloucester men have done the job on us at home, sadly. So
if you look at it from another angle, though, I think it's the angle where it's coming in towards the try line, and you just see like all three of the Bristol players just taking each other out. Exactly like Final Destination is like someone's shoelace tripped the other bloke, who then tripped the other guy over, and then hit the flag of the linesman who hit the bloke on the head, and he falls over, and Wade's just like that. Exactly. No, it's right here.
Cheers, yeah.
How did that just happen?
I mean, how did Pat review that one today? Is it Monday? It's Monday. How was the review? Long?
Yeah, it was fairly optimistic. I mean, we had a lot of opportunities to win that game. Even more so in terms of like throughout the whole game, even in the first half. So, and then obviously the sort of tries we did give away in terms of Gloucester's like opportunism. So there's a lot to build on, and looking ahead to Bath, who are taking their straps, looking quite the formidable adversary Saturday at the Rec. It's all eyes on that, really, just straight into it, you know.
There were some nice hugs with Christian Wade. How do you get on well with him, though, right?
Yeah. Back in, I've known him for a long time. He's a top man. I haven't seen him in the flesh for a lot, not even since his sort of NFL escapades and down at Racing. So it was really nice to just have a quick chin wag and a catch up. He seems very well.
Max, you get a chance. You get a chance now because, you know, it's like we love listening to your chat about scrums and props and that sort of thing. We love it. You know, Ryan and I adore it. So do many of our listeners and our viewers. Sometimes some might say it's a bit dry to talk about that, but this is the opportunity. There's a new prop on the scene. A lot of attention given to that matchup between the England under-20 proper Afolabi Fasogbun and Genji, Ellis Genge. Okay, we'll start with a wave because that was the one they kept going, mate, you've got to have some cojones on you to be waving off someone like Ellis Genge.
Yeah, fair play to him. I was like,
fucking death wish.
That's good from him, though. Like, I appreciate the candor. Like, he's obviously he's come with huge props from a very successful English under-20s age group. The tight head position for the England starting team is currently sort of up for grabs, if you want to put it lightly. Dan Cole aging, Will Stewart and Joe Hayes, etc., trying to even Trevor Davison's been tried out there under Eddie. So it's all eyes on that sort of generation of young guys, I think. So there's an element of that, like sensationalizing those guys. And
yeah, but social media has pumped him up more, Max. Come on.
That's the game we play, isn't it? Like, isn't that always the case with things?
Well, yeah, okay. Because you're going to be reluctant. I mean, I don't know why you're reluctant, because you weigh in on the Springbok stuff. It's like you enjoy the Springbok fans in it, just chasing after you, like luring them in with some of your comments. But let's put it this way: I looked on social media on Saturday morning, and I went, "Oh my gosh, Ellis Genge has obviously been dished up. He's waving him off the pitch." That's not the way it was, because the Bristol scrum, especially when you came on and your old mate Woolmore dished him up.
This is also true. So these are but that's social media. You're absolutely right. If we can find a sensational clip, a viral story, we can build a narrative. We can make a storyline. We can cast the hero. We can cast the villain. We can make it brilliant. We can get views. That's the thing. That is what it's all about.
Yeah.
But yes, ultimately, I would say we had the better of them up front, but there was a big try that did have a big decision that had some theatricality around it, where Fasogbun took him for a little bit of a walk as he did, and that's where it sort of all stems from. But that's sort of the nature of scrums, you know. And he obviously gave it the big licks, looking down at him and all that. And mate, I applaud it. I love that. There's a little bit of like showmanship, and why not? Why not?
Was there any chat around it though afterwards? Like, do you know what was Ellis thinking?
Well, you saw Genji goes up, messes about with him, but did Genji know at that point that he'd waved?
That's what I wasn't sure. I reckon he didn't know, right?
I don't think, knowing what Ellis Genge is like, I don't think he will have appreciated that, Max.
I haven't actually asked him. I'll make sure to ask him if he knew about the wave. But he obviously knows about it now. But did he know about it at the time? I can't say.
Exactly. So I reckon the young fella's going, oh, here we go. This has he seen that I've waved him off the field after just having one good scrum against him, being a bit ballsy? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
I've got away with one here.
There's an element of that, but I think he saw the opportunity and he seized it. He was obviously very, very sort of stimulated by the occasion. He was up against Ellis Genge. This was his second game in the Premiership. It was a big moment for him, and I think that's as special as he can make it.
Max, am I right in saying you boys had an opportunity to knock over 3 points to get a draw?
Is that right, Mark? I can't remember anything these days.
Yes, there was.
I'm not questioning it. I'm just because there's a lot of chat around this, and I'll actually go on to some stuff in a bit about other teams that I watch. Apparently is what I've read. But I like the Bristol way, all out attack, all go for the win. But maybe that's not the case. Max,
the thing is, we played the same. The play we were going in with at that set piece was got us quite a fair bit of success. So we were like 3 times lucky. Let's do it, and we got close. But such is the way.
Can we just round off though, Max? I am incredibly biased when I'm watching it. I've realised that, and every year I get more and more biased. When you come on, and I get pissed off at the camera angle because at the scrums you're on the other side, right? So then in the scrums that you guys won, there's never a mention of the fact that you'd come on, and it was all like Jake Warmel's come on and bossed, Fasog Bon, look at that sort of thing, and I'm like, don't you both need to be? Do you ever feel that? Do you think does it hurt a props career? Do coaches see past that?
Do I feel aggrieved that I don't get the attention?
Potentially, yeah.
No, not really. Just been doing it for so long. I was pumped for Wooly though, because he was on flames. He was very, very excited. It was when your other props just flying around screaming stuff like an inane maniac. He was having a great day out. But yeah, you're only as successful as the other prop. This is true. So, and your hooker, Benjamin.
Can I just say, my heart and mouth moment when it was you guys were going for the corner and you got the ball, and it was that classic. I think the clock was maybe set. It was near the end, right? And I genuinely watched it thinking, don't drop it, don't let it be you. For some reason, no.
It's one of those, isn't it? Yeah, you're coming around the corner, in the red. You're also thinking that, Mark. Don't worry. In your head.
Hey,
don't mess up.
Only 2 rounds, boys. Only 2 rounds gone. Bristol still in third, so it's not it's not the end of the world.
Let's move.
I think just on that,
sorry.
I did call it though. I said that Gloucester would be a bit better this season, and they definitely and they definitely look a bit better, don't they? They do. Thomas Williams, Chicken, Gareth Anscombe.
Yeah, that's seasoned halfback experience.
Yeah, like their try that between them, the little toppy ball over the top with Anscombe chasing it in, scoring the try. I think those boys are going to do some things. Zach Mercer there. They've still got Chris Harris, British and Irish Lion, Big Albert. I think they're. I reckon they'll do all right this season. It's a fair play to Gloucester. We'll give it to them. Well, it's that time of the week, boys. We're going to thank our sponsors. If someone walks in on Mark at the BBC and sees Max in that wonderful gilet, Wolf Craig sponsors, look at that. Max, that looks good. That looks good. They got us access, sorted us out for the PFL Europe this week. They're with us all the way. You can head over to their website, wolfcraig.com. There's more or nothing Wolfpack membership in there. Go and get yourself one. It will give you loads of little bonus bits. And we just want to say a big thank you to Wolf Craig for being with us all the way. Max, do you know that gilet is a bit of golf gear?
I know.
Fine. There's the fine.
But you know what I like about it, right, is it's not like one of those life jackets you see those sort of Southwest London posh toff wankers wearing. It's like a nice sort of subtle gilet. It really hugs the figure, if you know what I mean. With the pumps on the mat. Anyway.
Oh, you look good, Nick.
For the clobber.
What I would like to know is if any of our followers or listeners have purchased themselves a bottle, or because we're going to be looking to do a giveaway actually with some of their gin that they do. They don't just do whiskey; there's gin there as well. So let us know in the comments if you've even tried some. And then what we're going to do: run a little event next week where we basically pick someone, send out a wonderful bottle of gin. So thank you again, Wolf Creek Distillers, Wolf Creek.
Right, let's move on to the champions quickly, who got back to winning ways, having lost the opening round to Bath. Northampton Saints beating the Chiefs, and it sort of went the way we thought it would go.
Well, yeah, because I've written extra off, haven't I, this season? I've said they're not gonna do much. I think they're going to be in trouble, and Northampton win. I'll be honest, I haven't watched the game, didn't see the game, but I expected that from the champions. They needed to come back with a win.
Yeah, they did have. That was the reaction that everyone sort of expected. Northampton at home against Chiefs. Yeah, Augustus on absolute flames. He's looking like a real problem. Alex Cole's Chanyamunga with the charge down. Yeah, Saints looking nice because they've also started blooding some young talent that's coming through, and yeah, it looks good. But I thought Exeter showed some signs of brilliance still. Like Faye Roboso was looking good. Ollie Woodburn. I think, yeah, as Roy said, round 2, so much to play for still. So I think Exeter will still come right at some point.
There's a big match at Welford Road, Leicester versus Bath. Bath continuing their good record now. Only themselves and Saracens are the teams that have won all of them, both rounds so far. Actually, a very good game. How did you see it, Max?
Yeah, Finn had some odd errors, right? But it doesn't really matter. Obviously, he's like untappable. We recognise that. He's sort of... I felt like there was a couple at the end though where he did start to get a little bit frustrated, but it matters not because his influence on the game. There are just so many brilliant moments. But Ollie Lawrence, Gary, he looks quite difficult right now. He looks like a bit of a problem. Will Butt coming through. He's also been very good.
Don't talk him up too much, Max, because you got him this weekend. You got him down at Bath, down at the Rec. I know exactly what you're talking about. See, when he didn't put the ball out on, he kept it in, and then the old DuPont law, so it just put him on the back foot. But then moments later in the game, when that pass, that rifle, he just zips it across, and suddenly he pulls something like that out the bag, and he's back to his best. I tell you what, I'm trying my best to get Izzy Perez on because he's a legend, very funny bloke. But
he's angry, he's a bit cranky about that Leicester weather. What's going on?
But yellow card straight off the bat again. He got a yellow card last week, and now he's got another yellow card. I don't think it was right. It was early doors for him. But Izzy, stop getting the yellows, mate, because we want to get you on the podcast. And then poor old Ben Volavola, that kick at the end. That was nearly as bad as halfpennies. That was like someone had done something to his boots. If he had stuck it over, they might have been within a chance. But I said to you earlier about the way of Bath with you boys, like obviously trying to win. Bath had the opportunity at the end, like 10 metres out, to go for the bonus point win, and Finn just kicks it out. And mate, if Franco Smith at Glasgow, if Glasgow did that, he would go fucking mental.
Really?
Even when the boys are in their own 22, he says, I don't care. The game's not over. If there's an opportunity to get a bonus point, you play for it. Even if the boys are in their own 22. One of the young boys in pre-season kicked the ball out. They had won. It was a pre-season game. And Ali Price was shouting, kick it out, kick it out. Young boy, Ewan Ferry, sticks it out on the full. Franco Smith, in a preseason game, tears him a new one. And he's like, why did you kick it out? He's like, Pricey said it. Pricey went, no, I didn't. I said, keep it on, keep it on.
What a dick.
Completely chucked him under the bus. But with that mindset, I just look at that and go, come the end of the season, for Bath, 5-10 metres out, they've got an opportunity to get a bonus point try, and they just kick it out and get the game over and done with. I don't like that. I don't like that mindset.
Yeah,
I'm not for that.
It's a very good win.
Would Pat not be the same? Pat would be the same, wouldn't he? Surely if you're there camped on the line, he would go, why the fuck have you kicked it out?
Yeah, I suppose, I think upon review he would be slightly like, what's the mentality here? Why are we doing this?
Exactly. Mentality. So, Max, you can pull that up in your meeting this week. Boys, I don't think the mentality is right.
Yeah. So
Ryan Wilson said so.
But yeah, Bath got it done. They got it done.
Right, Saracens that both of you have not picked out in any way, shape, or form for doing well this season are doing exactly what they do, dominating.
Yes, the winning Saris, right? Know how to win. They look good. They looked very good. Did you see Ben Earl tapping Sam Bedlow on the head when that try? I was like, that is the wrong bloke to tap on the head, pal. I can go so badly. Like, Bedlow doesn't have any teeth that is his own. You know what I mean? There's a reason for that. But Saracens doing what they do best. They're looking potent. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. I suppose I thought we did mention them. We were just talking about how congested the league would be.
No, I don't think we did.
None of you did top four for Saracens.
Both
of you, none of you did top four for Saracens. Okay, I remember that distinctly because it was like you totally, I don't know, had a brain freeze and wrote them off.
No,
it's bizarre.
I think we just forgot about them. I mean, are they one of the clubs in financial difficulties? I don't know.
No, they have. Well, again, they are not. They are one of the insolvent clubs. If we take it from the balance sheet of what we would of what's come out in the press this week.
What is going on there, by the way, boys? I know I'm just going off on a detour here, but what is going on? Like, is the Premiership in trouble, Max? What's the chat around Bristol? Is the Premiership in trouble?
Heard nothing, but the game is on its knees and it's screaming. I don't know. I honestly haven't heard anything right.
So what has happened, right? That outside of Leicester, Northampton, and Gloucester, everybody else would be deemed insolvent, right? In terms of debt, Bristol tops the list with 60 million quid. So effectively, what they're saying is, without the backing of wealthy owners, there are some harsh realities that need to be faced. Now, it doesn't mean, you've got the wealthy owners. It's more that you find yourself in a situation where if the wealthy owners walk away, then that's when you're that's when you are in real trouble. But again, Harlequins, and Saracens their turnover, I think, are the two highest. So it's not all doom and gloom, and the numbers of, the attendances are pretty strong as well. But that's, that I think a big meeting about that. It's a harsh reality, fellas.
It is scary times. I just didn't know if there was much chat going on. Actually, boy, that's all.
Quinn's winning, so I'm not going to take that away from them. But Newcastle looking pretty competitive.
Is that where we're going now? We're just going to applaud them when they've done all right. Well, they were competitive. Well done, you plucky losers. You really stuck in there.
Gosh.
It ain't going to cut it. They need to very quickly. Diamond needs to get his boys polished up. See what I did there? See what I did there, Max?
I did.
Don't say it again. Don't.
Did you
get it? It's a diamond.
Well, I think they've got a win in them.
Do you? Against who? Saris.
Huh?
Against who? Saris.
Potentially not them. That's not the matchup they need. But I think they do have a win in them. Yeah.
He was just so happy you got it out of the way.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. I don't want to be a part of that storm. Yeah, you don't want
to
be.
Mate, it's been happening in the URC. Zebra.
Let's go. Right. Let's go. That has got to be the story of the weekend, mate. You've come on. They go on the wall, don't they? Munster go on the wall.
Mate, park the Springboks winning the Rugby Championship. Get rid of the All Blacks not performing anymore. Bristol who? Zebra, Parma, molto bene. Fantastico. Fanculo desde cazzo. Oh, that, boys, result.
No.
That has made my week, my year. Oh God, Munster are gonna hate me.
Did you go to the Munster handles and read the comments? Did you?
No.
Ryan, don't lie.
Anonymous 8759.
No, but I did see. I think it was Donald Ryan absolutely tearing them a new one on RTA. It's fucking disgrace. They just did not get it done. Fair play to Zebre Palmer. Good on them. But I will tell you one thing. Jakopa Trula, the winger, right? Bearing in mind they haven't won much, Zebre, and they don't win often. Max, he scores his first try. It's only like 15 minutes in. He's busting out the griddy. He's giving the griddy to the fans. I'm like, mate, he must be mental because you haven't won for God knows how long, and you're griddying after 15 minutes to score a try. Mate, his second try, he's thrown the ball up. He's got the machine gun out. It's not. I was like, I've got so much time for the guy. Like Munster, all like lying around the floor. He's pretending to say hello to my little friend. Shooting the ball.
Imagine the review though.
Oh my God!
Munster review. Watching that bloke celebrate.
Oh mate, fury, absolute fury. And so give it to Zebre. They found a way to win. Munster completely off their game, and it's not even like Munster went over there with an academy team. They went over there pretty stacked, but they got a young 10, Tony Butler. Billy Burns. Remember, Billy Burns has gone from Ulster to Munster, but he got injured last week. I think it was in the first game. So they're struggling a little bit because Crowley. Is Crowley? Yeah. Crowley, yeah. Can't play at the moment because of the island stuff. So they've got this young fella, Tony Butler, in. I don't think he did too well. But, yeah, fair play. Zebre Palmer, molto bene. Molto bene. I love to see it. Who else we got? Oh, I tell you who didn't win. I think Sharks didn't win. The Welsh teams, boys. The Welsh teams have been going pretty well. They've got a good few results. Cardiff topping the charts again. They're up there with Leinster now. My dark horse got the win over Scarlets. Did you see the kickoff? Please tell me you saw the kickoff, Max. I don't think you saw it. It was chucked in the group earlier. They've gone. First kick-off, they've tried the old reverse, where you pretend to go to the right and then
it's
you...
Sheeds as well, right? It's Sheedy's like done it like the old cheeky little way and
backfired.
Well.
Scarlett straight in under the post. It was pretty dire to watch. But
the boy BT got man of the match though. Top man. Like great signing. Daniel Thomas. How good.
Mate, he's sharp, isn't he? I'm just flicking through the results again. Bulls got it done against Edinburgh as everyone expected. Lions pumped Ulster over there, but Connacht beating Sharks. Like we talked them up. I know. But let's face it, the Sharks haven't got all their players back yet. There's still a lot of Springboks missing.
I still think that's quite significant, and also. Who beat the Stormers as well?
Ospreys, Boofy's boys. Oh, Boofy's out of there.
Army, mate.
Boofy's out of there.
What do you mean?
Mate, I've heard Boofy's leaving, or has he left? Did someone tell me that?
Guys,
where's he going?
Mate, I've heard Boofy's bailing on the boys.
He's still their coach, mate. What are you? Wait, okay. No. This is a big one.
This is huge.
What are you doing?
I am sure I read somewhere. Toby Booth leaves at the end of the season. Why do I think that? Toby Booth leaves.
Where's he going?
After 4 years of dedicated...
Yes, today.
Head coach will be leaving the Ospreys at the end of the season. Why? What is going on there?
Mark Jones will replace him and Justin Tipperic's coming in as well.
Producer Jim, slip your little shitty comment back out of it. You don't need to edit it. It is true news. Wilson heard it last week. I'm sure it was someone last week. Yeah, exactly. Boofy, he announces he's leaving, but then he goes and beats the Stormers. Incredible scenes. Fair play to Ospreys. Welsh rugby, as Shanks is saying, is on the up. Glasgow, on our van, boys. That's the game I covered at the weekend. Wow, they were on fire. Benetton completely capitulated, came over, just nowhere to be seen. Bortolami's boys, they came over, and it was pretty poor from Benetton. We've talked them up, but to be fair, they've got a lot of players away. They've got a load of players of Argentina. Do you know that their budget for this season is 14 million, Benetton?
That's huge.
Fucking massive. The Benetton family have played 14 million. They've got a huge squad. They're throwing everything at it. Bearing in mind, Glasgow's is like 4.5 million compared to Benetton's side, who are coming in at 14 million. Now, those numbers aren't exact.
Or verified in any way.
But you can go and do your research, people. Find out, drop it in the comments and let us know. But I'm telling you that it's somewhere about that. So, but the boys were on fire. They should have put 60 to 70 on them. And I'm not even joking. Tom Jordan was filth. Adam Hastings, his first start back at Glasgow, he was doing well until he got absolutely banged out. You should have seen this. The second row, I can't remember his name, Scrafton for Benetton. Hastings gone for the little chip and chase, and he's just dropped the shoulder straight into the head. Boom, off the deck. And he's, for all of 2 seconds, Hastings got up and thought, I'm going to try and batter this bloke, and jumps up, goes to him, and then realises, I better not. He's a second rower. Red card. And yeah, Glasgow should have ended a bit better, but that's them. Another championship team off to a winning ways. So the URC is up and running, boys. But yeah, Cardiff for me, they're looking pretty tasty. Glasgow go down there this weekend, Friday night, and take them on. That's the one I'm covering for Premier Sports.
Cardiff's my team for URC this year, by the way. Just the boys, Shido and Daniel Thomas. Callum Sheedy, Daniel Thomas, huge. Come on, the boys.
They play their way into the Welsh squad,
mate. That's it. Daniel Thomas, get in there, Sheedy. Come on, boys.
Should we have one little touch on top 14? Bordeaux Begler, Johnny Gray's team, doing Toulouse. They've done the champions at home in Toulouse. So there's some big news in the top 14. I don't think you want all the other results that I've written down here. There you have it, boys. Well, what a rugby roundup.
Now, we're going to have, there's been a couple of, keep the comments coming in, everybody. Hit us up, email us at info@maulornothing.com or on our YouTube channel. Put the comments in there. DM us on us. Slide into our DMs. Have a little slide.
Ooh,
come and say hello.
Fruity.
There was a good comment about the fact we need to introduce fines for various things. Ryan talking about golf.
Didn't mention it.
No, but now I can see it's like, when you tell somebody not to cough and they're like, I need to cough. He wants to, but chats, we need to maybe. He's got, for those who are just listening, he's scratching. Ryan Wilson is scratching his back with a golf club, which makes. Oh, look what I found! Straight out of and he's now licking it.
Max has got his butt plug out.
My neck is perpetually stiff. When you live a life of compression, you have to just get the myofascial release in there.
What is that? Because you keep getting out. It looks like
I call it. Well, they call it the Theracane.
What is it? Is it meant for that? Is it meant for like releasing?
Oh yeah, it's meant for just releasing the tissue, the tight, resistant bits of meat.
What are the little pluggy bits?
I can use this plug here or this one here.
But what are those bits? Like, give me put your hand on the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those. Okay. That one there. What's that for?
Oh yeah, that's for even harder bits and nooks and crannies to hit. That wouldn't do much. That wouldn't do much for what you're insinuating, Ryan, which is what I think it is. I think you need a little bit more than that to make something sort of.
I wasn't saying anything. If there is a clip of the week, by the way, and I hope the bloke's alive. But did you see that fan getting taken out by the Nail Sprite people at the South Africa game? A pitch invader. There's two pitch invaders. On they go. They're running around on the pitch. And holy hecker, I don't know who he was, but he has come, tackled him behind, melts him into the floor. The bloke hits his head off the floor, knocks him out completely. Sparko. The security guard's having to give it that to the medics, trying to get the medics over. Bloke's gone, completely out of it.
No.
Yeah. So to that South African fan, I hope he's all right.
Speaking of South African fans, I really hope you've seen. There's been some great comments, obviously, on Max's calls around the rankings. I love this one. Boya Cameron, you can go shut up and go grab the most. Oh, I can't do the accent.
No. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. You've got to do it.
You could go and shut up and go grab the most World Cups ever. And the last of those two were the hardest to the final. And both those they beat. I feel so awful doing this. The hosts in a semi-quarterfinal. When your lovely Ireland does that and gets past a semi-final, DM me. Then somebody else, then he's gone on. And were they not number one last year and still bottle the World Cup? And then some lad at the bottom's just gone, really gobbling down on the bait here, fella.
Oh my goodness.
Facts. Fair play to him.
But anyway, we need to introduce a kangaroo court for our fines and then do it, film it for the end of the season. And
I want you in a powdered wig and a hammer.
Proper kangaroo court and you know, we go absolutely hell for leather, and I saw myself on film or something. Just the final bit, guys, before we close off for the week. Have you seen? I read some of the extracts from Johnny Sexton's autobiography. Have you seen any of the extracts?
No. What is this spiciness?
No. We need to. Okay, I
read that quote from Rico
Ioane. Yeah, I did see that,
mate. Guys, it is it's a big one. Yeah, he calls Rico Ioane. He goes at him.
He basically says, "Enjoy retirement. See you next Tuesday." And Sexton has basically called him out and said, "Everyone else, you false humble fucker." You know, like the saying of the
saying, "No dickheads."
No dickheads. Yeah, okay, I did see that because he talks about Barrett brothers and all that, and
he says they're gentlemen. He said loads of them and everything, but that's a big one. And
it is. To be fair, after the game, it is a bit low, isn't it? I mean, even to my standards.
That's a Ryan Wilson finish.
What's the context? What's the history between Rico and Sexton? There's none.
Well, maybe. Well, obviously they've played each other a lot with that series down in New Zealand. So maybe there's something. I don't know. We need to read. We need to read it.
I can imagine Johnny Sexton has a sharp mouth on him at times as well.
Oh yeah, 100% he does. But I mean, the man's just been knocked out of World Cup and is retiring, and you know, like his world is pretty much ending.
I feel like after the game, it is not a cool thing, right? You remember we had George Gregan on. The little soundbite, you know, see you in 4 years. That's great. That works. It's in the match. But after, that's really shitty, boys. In any case, we need to get reading on that and see whether Wills gets any mentions from any. That would be sweet.
I won't get any mentions in that book. I tell you what, I did get some mentions. A lot of people reaching out, asking me what's going on with what could potentially be in the works. We'll probably come across it next week. Let's just come across it next week. The whole
what do you mean?
Is the thing that might have been, that could have been, that was never going to be.
It's truly dead.
No, it's truly dead. But
it's truly dead.
Just for all my employers, I don't want to,
Let's give it another week in case it revives.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Don't you be burning bridges now. All right, fellas. Well, huge thank you to Ryan and Max, as always. And a thank you to you all for listening and for watching. Do subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your granny to subscribe to our YouTube channel at More or Nothing, or to follow us as well on Instagram. We're on the cusp, aren't we? I think the 10K will be this week, and that'll be sweet because that'll be enough of Wilson just banging on about, I want to get to 10K. I want to get to 10K, and we will get there.
Okay, cool. That sounds great.
And we will see you all next week.
Ta-ta for now.
More or Nothing.
Take whatever. Take your t-shirt off underneath it. You need to take your t-shirt off underneath it.
Yeah.
Make it look better.
Fucking.
Oh my
Look at that. And your pants.
Oh my.
Oh, we're doing OnlyFans now.
Yeah.
God.
The All or Nothing OnlyFans. This is ridiculous.
I reckon I look like that actually.
Not even in your own head.
Oh, I need to close your bike and your motorcycle now.